Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, the ruler of the underworld. The end of the week is upon us, so it's time to talk about some manga chapters. And this week it's actually very light on chapters since it's only three, being Chain Soldier, Chainsaw Man, and not Miyako-chan, RuriDragon. I was kind of expecting Miyako-chan to have a chapter release since the Ross did come out, but unfortunately Miyako-chan is on those series that has a very all over the place release schedule when it comes to English chapters, or even if you get like a raw, not just from an English translation, it also comes to just the Ross itself. I think it's like when the writer finishes a chapter, that's when the Ross are gonna come out. And for the English, God knows. You'd kind of think monthly releases would be make it a bit more, you can kind of expect when the next chapters are gonna come out, but nope, it's just random. Something really needs to be done about this, but that's for the problem for the different time. So yeah, like I said, we only have three, so let's get into it with starting it off with Chain Soldier, chapter 146, titled Responsibility. Weird. Responsibility? Oh, wait, let me check something. I need to confirm this is actually the title of the chapter since like your notes sometimes like to change the word, want to use it first with an older word that has a very similar look to it. I just have to check this. Well, I'll be right back. Alright, I checked it, and yes, responsibility is the name of the chapter. I mean, it's not completely illogical. It's just kind of a weird way to name it. You would kind of make it. You kind of go with a reveal something as the chapter title, but maybe the reveal was already a chapter title. It's being planned for a bit later. It just feels like a weird way to use, the weird name for the chapter. But whatever. I guess Mira takes responsibility in this chapter, kinda. Well, whatever. Let's get into it already. And we start this chapter off with Yuki in his mind world as he's in a interrogation room being handcuffed as Fukuma and Kusetsu are in a police women uniform ready to bring some law to Yuki. If you know what I mean. As we have Yuki questioning out why is he arrested for, although, again, this is just fantasies. Like, you probably should have figured out that there was only a matter of time before you end up in a police scenario. But it's actually to be serious this time because it's their response to the plan that Yuki is having, which Fukuma says, because you're under arrest for having a stupid idea. As Ryren says, as he's on top of Fukuma's head, being like, you are planning to reveal that we live inside you, aren't you? Which actually kind of confirms something to me, or at least it actually kind of reconfirms something that the gods of Fallen don't actually know what Yuki is thinking. They can kind of guess, or at least get the idea of what he's planning, but they can't get the full gist of it. Because the way they're asking him makes it sound like they're just expecting him that he will reveal it, with Yuki confirming, yes, that's what he's planning to do. He's planning to confirm it, which they don't, which they basically just find as a stupid idea because, well, one, he can't prove it. Like, yes, people who trust him will believe him because he's not a type of guy to lie about stuff like that, but they don't. But they have no reason to believe him without any kind of proof, which Yuki agrees that he doesn't have a proof. And then they also bring up, what about that Unmo agency? If they find out you have that, they'll definitely want to have you an experiment on you. And they're going to do all sorts of things, but we think it's like a fan service moment with Kusetsu and Fukuma being on him, being like, oh yeah, they're going to do this, and they're going to do this by touching his chest and all that, and showing us again why censorship is such a double standard idiotic idea, but let's not focus on that right now. The main point is that Yuki gets what they are trying to say, as we also have them telling Yuki exactly how they are cool with death. They're like, we are fine if we die and this world dies if it's because of Shinoko and whatever she's planning. But if it's someone else like the Onmo agency, we have a bit of an issue here, so don't do anything that would jeopardize us being killed by our sister. Is basically what they're saying. So yes, and Yuki does agree towards it. And yeah, and you can probably imagine where this is gonna be going. So yeah, anyways, after this little talk, we then cut to I have no idea who exactly. Like we have these like two office-looking ladies who I'm pretty sure we saw them. Probably when we got like into Shangri-La Fine to start this election arc, where we had like the panels of women and their names. Like oh, this is the name of the old shrine lady that we've seen a couple of times in the story. This is the name of those two like faceless office workers that are talking with Ram. And all that, like, so we have those two, so I think those two names are revealed to be there, but I don't know who they are, and I'm not entirely certain why they are here, because it wasn't stated like alright, so you have two politicians to get the votes in for the next chief, and then you have, I think, two who are there as like to use their abilities to make sure that the election goes smoothly. I'm counting two. I know it was set three, but one of the three is the vice captain of squad one or squad one. So I'm not counting her. I'm just counting the ones that we are there for this. So I think those two are there for that role. At least I believe so. Since I don't think either of these two are Konomi's not Konomi. The little pink haired girls. Actually, don't they both have pink hair? Well, the one that's a relative to one of the Squad Seven's members. I don't think either of the two of them are her. I have to recheck it again, but I'm pretty sure neither of them are them, because the way they talk about it makes it sound like they are benefiting from uh, Ram being in charge and being in the office, being like a, they talk about how, oh, Ran is such a is such a powerhouse in this political field. She has not been she is unlikely to lose and all that jabber. Like guys are really just repeating themselves at this point, especially later when we cut away from these two as we cut in. Well, I might as well just cut into it because I honestly have no idea why they're still talking. Like why we had to focus on these two members if they're just gonna say, Ran is ironclad in her position. As we then after they say that, we just cut to the Chiefs meeting where they have like this another talk, and instead there's like 2 more days until they actually have to vote, where we just get the same dribble we had previously with, you are overconfident, Ram. I will handle everything. I've proven you were wrong in the battle we just had. Yes, it was an important reminder, something that I will not let it slip again. And all that, and it's kind of supposed to show it again that Ryan, despite making that risky gamble, she's still so ironclad that she can't really be changed. Like she still essentially has the control in the room, which is fine and all, but I really kind of. Alright, I'll get into this at the end, since I think it makes more sense to talk about at the end, but let's just say I have feelings about how they are handling this election, the votes, and all that. And needless to say, is I really don't. This is just kind of being dragged out at this point. Like this whole conversation about Rand being arrogant, her not thinking she's arrogant, it has been like, how many chapters have this actually been talked about? I mean, I think about 4 chapters, maybe even 5 or 6 at this point, if we include all the time that this overconfidence or something has been referenced. But it's just kind of like goes into circles. It's just meant to like show us that despite all the attempts and everything that the captors have done, they couldn't really sway anyone. Like it's still the same. The positions that people had at the beginning of this election are still the same. So yeah, I guess this is what's the point of this is, but it just doesn't feel as strong. It just kind of feels like it's there to make Yuki's decision to reveal the gods look justified. So, yeah. Also, another thing I do have to mention about this is, okay, so the characters wanna state that Ran is arrogant and all that. They are saying it, alright, but how come they are never actually admitting they're, giving examples to show that Ran is being delusional and arrogant? Like, really think about this. In the battles that we had against the gods is Kusetsu. the first one they fought and defeated, is power level is based on people she absorbed. At the time, she only had 3 people, and the third one came during their confrontation with her. So by all counts, the one they defeated was, from a base standpoint, the weakest, and could have grown a hell of a lot stronger and would have been way bigger of a threat if she literally just had a few extra people in her. So why the heck are they not mentioning that obvious fact? Because I'm pretty sure they figured it out that that's how she operates. And even if they don't, I feel like Yuki wouldn't really have much of an issue explaining it. I don't even know if Kusetsu would keep that hidden now that I think about it, if he did come out and ask her. Like, she may not tell him how to, like, prove it to everyone, but I feel like she would at least admit that that's how my ability works. So why the hell are they not bringing that up? They literally beat her because she wasn't even close to absorbing as many people as she could have. Or then we get to Ryo and Fukuma's fight, which was, again, like, it was a slaughter. Like, that was the point in the beginning of the fight. That as soon as they started the fight, Ryo and Fukuma destroyed the team to a point that he might have to immediately go into time reversibility to go back in time to see just how slaughtered they were. So why are they not bringing this up? Like, why are they just bringing up, do not underestimate your opponent? Because you'd think that if you want to, put a strong argument, you would use examples like these. Examples of where you have been slaughtered by them. If it wasn't for these and these reasons to, really hammer home. Like, why don't you do that? Not to mention Ren fought a literal snake when she fought 2 gods. Does she really think a snake would reveal all of her tricks right off the bat? So it just kind of feels like we are, just Capcom's not really giving all they should be giving, which, again, I'll get into a bit at the end when it comes to, like, how I think the votes are going to go, but needless to say, I really do not get why the characters are not making a stronger point. It just feels like the characters are not allowed to make a stronger point because, well, the story. It's kind of like for the plot. What's that meme that one YouTuber does? Because the plot said so. Is that one that's being used as a meme when it comes to, like, things happen just because of it? Well, the plot said so. That's like literally the only explanation I can get that comes to my mind. So yeah, now after they have this little talk and they establish that they are not really moving anything. There's not really a change or anything. I guess that gamble against Ryan didn't really affect much, except I guess the muscular office lady. But that was immediately, like, blackmailed into giving up. But yeah. But anyways, while this discussion is going on, Yuki's thinking to himself, alright, how do I prove it? I really want to say it because it could benefit Kyoka, but how do I prove it? Like, I need a piece of evidence. And as he's saying it, he starts to think of, and he actually figures out a way he can get it. And in all fairness, it's actually a pretty logical and a very strong kind of proof to use, as Yuki finally decides to speak up about it, about the gods, like their evidence the gods are dangerous. Which, as soon as he says that, Kyoka wants to stop him, but Kyoka wants to stop him, saying, don't ask, but Yuki apologizes, but Ren tells him, no, I'm interested in hearing this, like, I want to hear this, because, there's something about it, because I think he says something like, the gods are using him as a vessel, as in, Ryan is like, oh, I want to hear this, as then we get, like, this very, like, kind of transition after that whole thing, we don't waste time recapping anything, he just explains the details about that, as they are then, some are believing him, but the office and the armors are not, because without any proof, it's kind of empty. Like, you might as well keep your mouth shut. Which Yuki does admit that. That's the reason why he didn't want to say anything. And it's also how they're probably gonna shift the, kind of ignore the fact that Kyoka has been keeping this information secret, because well, we couldn't really prove it to you, now could we? So we just decided we for the best. If we if we can't prove it, then there's no point in telling us you or anything. They don't say this, but that's pretty much probably going to be like the in-universe explanation why they kind of have to keep their mouth shut about it. So Yuki reveals the proof that he has is his fight with Ran, because during that fight when Ran was hitting him, the power of the gods got activated, of their blessings that I am getting as their vessel. So I was able to stand up and go back into a fight. You know, that very underwhelming Yuki comeback that was being built up for a chapter. Yeah, that he's referring to that as a evidence which Ran will believe, because Ran is like very arrogant. So her being told, oh no, it wasn't that I miscalculated the attack force or anything like that. It was because Yuki was getting powers from three beings who are calling themselves gods. Yes, that makes sense. That explains everything. And we also have a little showing how petty Ran is, because she's thinking to herself, like, is this also the reason why Kyoka's ability worked on me? No. The gods came after this ability was activated, so I couldn't so I couldn't have affected that ability at all. So what? So yeah, kind of little reference to that. But anyways, that then makes everyone kind of believe more probably because Ran is admitting it, and Kyoka can't really deny it because it kind of makes her point weak. After all, if these gods are so dangerous and so powerful, it makes sense that power from three of them can grant Yuki the ability to fight Ran for longer than it's supposed to be. So yeah, I get the idea, and if you have Yuki saying that Kyoka doesn't want to admit it, and Ran is agreeing with it, then obviously it has to be true. Even if the politicians and the Almighty don't want to believe it, they will take Ran's word on it because she believes it, or at least she thinks it's a good justification for her loss against Kyoka and Yuki. So yeah, we have. Yuki's proof working, and yeah. So, anyways, now it's time that the character and the reason why also that he's saying that they cannot trust the gods is namely because as their vessel, he can feel their he doesn't really. I don't think he really uses a direct word to describe it, but because of their connection, he can tell that they are not gonna cooperate. There cannot be a communication line. Like whatever they are saying, even the gods themselves using him as a vessel are like, yeah, there's definitely some kind of trick at it. It's just we don't know what it is, so we'll just let Shinoka kill it with everyone that they want. So Yuki is so he knows them on a closer level than most of them will. Like Mira, for example, yes, you could talk with one of the gods and you might have even clicked in a sense, but he actually gets their feelings and their emotions on this stuff, so he can tell that they will not like bend, they will not negotiate, they will not. This isn't like one of those things where it's like an alliance between nations where there's like some animosity, but there's always going to be at least they're able to like, at least pretend to be hand in hand. The gods are not going to do that. So, and yeah, Yuki's ploy is very successful. Now we get to the obvious consequences of revealing that information, as well as the reason why most people are going to be calling Yuki stupid, which honestly I do feel like it is something to be said here, especially since what I'll get into a bit at the end of the chapter with things. But anyways, after that revelation and everyone kind of being in agreement, yeah, that's probably the case. We have Ran saying, well, but however, with this change, we kind of cannot let you as the vessel be left out or out of our way, as well as, while you may say that, we cannot be certain of it. They can't really take his word solely basis, so they don't think this proves that the gods are dangerous. So Ran's maneuvering on it basically tells them, I mean, we can consider them more hostile than we initially expected, But that still doesn't prove and not enough, which kind of makes sense. Like, you can say that he has a deeper connection, but they don't really know how that works, you know? Like, yes, we can believe you that you have that, it's just, how do we know you can feel them closer, you know? So, yeah, they don't consider that, and they also do state that because Yuki has this connection, they're going to have to experiment on him. Oh, definitely going to use the whole, oh, we need to make sure that his connection makes them really antagonistic towards us. So, Ran wants Yuki to be hers now, with the armor agency backing Ran up by saying, if that's true what he says, then experimenting on him will benefit mankind greatly. It's necessary. So, yeah. You know, before I get into Yuki's reaction, probably the reason why people are gonna consider him a dumbass, is the old lady, does anyone else kind of get the suspicion that the old lady might be Taikyo? Like, I'm not saying she is, I don't even think there's any like, visual, any kind of details that would really hint at her being Taikyo. It's just, you know, Taikyo seems to be very absent from the group, from the rest of the gods, with the only explanation being she's with Mother, and the whole, you know, characters changing form and changing shape isn't really that unpopular. Well, is that uncommon? Like, you know, that whole, like, I could easily see, like, it being revealed that Taikyo has, like, some kind of, not shape-shifting ability similar to, like, Fukuma, but, like, a way, like, kind of like a combination of Fukuma and Rairen's abilities, where she can make, like, a shell for herself, and this old lady is that shell. I don't know, it's just kind of like a thought that came into my head while reading this chapter, you know, like, maybe I'm overthinking this, it just kind of would make sense. It probably doesn't help the fact that I've been reading that Red Ranger Isekai is coming out next month, I believe. And then one of the characters, not in season 1, of course, is going to have, like, this kind of reveal, but I'll not talk about it right now because that's spoilers for literally a series that didn't even come out yet. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering if there might be some kind of, you know, if this reveal was more of a knife for the characters than it was previously expected. But anyways, we will find out if there's anything like with that later. But right now, there's no basis on it. Just kind of random thought that came to my head. So yeah, anyways, they make this proclamation with Yuki then looking, I guess, scared. Like, there's not even to say that the problem is that the Yuki's reaction towards it's like one of those, like, did he not expect this happening, or is he just scared about this? Oh, this experimentation actually being placed, because, you know, everyone was telling Yuki that, oh, you'll be experimented on. If you reveal that, you're gonna be in danger. And Yuki's now being, oh my god, like, I agree, because, you know, it's one thing with because again, like, I don't know, I don't think he mentions in this chapter, or if it's just one of the translations or what exactly, but someone mentioned, I believe I read somewhere that, oh, Yuki was thinking because what they did with the humanoid Chukai, that's the reason why they wouldn't experiment on him, because, you know, they did, like, walk back on their methods, but I don't think he mentions it in this chapter. But unfortunately, it did not, it didn't change. Also, the reason why they went back on the whole cruel experimentation is more because they will keep running away rather than actually, you know, being unable to, more than anything else. Like, they kept going around, we need to start treating them better so they will not want to run away, kind of deal, you know, and if someone else comes to save them, it would make them look more like the bad guys than they are, you know. So it's kind of logic, so Yugi really shouldn't be surprised by this. Some people say it's just more the fear in his eyes that kind of makes it look confusing. Like, it's not like he should be more it's more like, it feels like Yuki does not look very definitive on what kind of negative emotion he's feeling. It's like one of those things where, is he surprised or is he terrified, you know? It can kind of be either or when you look at the panel, so yeah. But anyways, after this is stated, and we get like a little panel with Kosetsu and Fukuma being like, what an idiot. I mean, we warned him this was gonna happen. We warned him. Like, he may know us better on this level, but he really shouldn't have done us. It's not like we are complete liars. So, yeah. Anyways, then we get to, like, this very controversial panel where he's like, where it's like, oh, Yuki Wawakara, you're gonna be my slave now as soon as we leave Shangri-La. And then Kyoko's like, but Yuki's my slave, which honestly just makes Kyoko look like a child. That's my toy! I don't want you to take it, man! You always take my toys! it's just hilarious to me. Like, the almost main character of the series, everyone, the woman who literally sounds like a child wanting her toy back when her slave is being taken away from her. I mean, I know it's not meant to be literal, but it's just kind of funny how they are basically like children talking about who's going to get the toy. Or the slave, I guess, in this instance. So, yeah. Anyways, then characters want to step in, well, namely Tanka wants to step in to, like, do something, and not letting Ran get Hayuki. But then Mira makes a giant announcement, makes speech, and, giant scream, which then takes everyone back, like, whoa, calm yourself, Mira, calm yourself, this is a stable room. As Mira, well, basically makes it so Yuki's little attempt here isn't gonna just be a pointless endeavor to make it, just for them to have more losses, essentially, or at least, not have like another Varvera situation, but just making it worse. As Mira says that if Yuki doesn't think that we can work with the gods, then I was clearly wrong on my take. My position is clearly false. So, with that in mind, I will resonate my candidacy for the position of chief, and I will support Kyoka. So, my apologies to everyone who was kind of putting the stock in me, but I just am very realistic. So, if I am proven wrong, I am going to admit it and take the L with my head held high, essentially, because if Mira didn't do this, then obviously there wouldn't be any kind of point towards it. So yeah, and then we also get some kind of inner monologue from Mira being like, oh the things that we did, the things I did with Yuki have surpassed the normal boundaries of friendship, so I cannot let Yuki suffer and all that. As we get the reference to them in their car when Mira was doing her transformation thing with Yuki. So yeah, we got like this little thing with Mira, and now essentially, now we're just trying to make this look like an amazing, brave thing that Yuki did. That sacrifice match, well, the either or end up swinging in their favor with the Mira now. Kyoka now getting 3 votes, and Mira stopping her campaign. So Kyoka has now 3 votes. With Ran also now having 3 votes, which makes the campaigns kind of a tie. And then we have Tanka and Varvera praising Yuki for being able to change the tide, as they say, and they're preparing for the final stretch to get to Kyoka into the position of chief. As we are basically reaching the climax, and since it was even stated that we're in the final 2 days of the election. So yeah. Now onto my thoughts about this election, and okay, I'm just gonna say the captors' decisions here really don't make any sense, or at least they're not really making sense for the stakes they're having. Like this election, they're constantly talking about how it's how they're not really changing much or anything. But the thing is, it feels like the captors not even trying to change that much. Like whatever Kyoka and Mira were talking just fell on deaf ears because they're not really offering solutions, especially Kyoka. She talks about how Azu, Fubuki, and Konomi are like swing votes, but when you actually think about it, they're not even talking with them that much. Even the whole thing with they're not really like trying to convince them. I mean, they say they will, and they know each other better, and they should talk with them, but really they're not doing any of it. So it feels like in this arc, or at least at this point, it's a very like pinnacle moment. It feels very empty because you're like, did Kyoka really not? What was Kyoka really doing to convince Fubuki to vote for her? I mean, it kind of seems to be implied that Fubuki did say that she will go behind Mira now, because remember in the last chapter she was talking with her mother, and she said that, and she thought that like Mira won her the most when it comes to her speech, and Tatera said, oh, it would benefit the family as well when it came to the vote, so it would make sense, but that's really about it. We don't even get like a good like idea that Fubuki is behind Mira. It kind of just feels like they're revealing that Fubuki is behind Mira because otherwise Mira so Kanji was just going to be there for the for the sake of the stakes. Like how I said at the beginning of this arc, before this arc, about how like it doesn't really make sense that Ran would be having such a lead over everyone, because like you have solid votes, and then you have others who really don't make any sense to not vote for Kyoka, and that's kind of my thing now. No, like it really feels like the only reason why characters are talking and acting and doing all this stuff is just for the sake of there being stakes, because otherwise, like Ran is the underdog when you really break it down in a sense. Remember, Ran only has 2 politicians' votes, and all of the other chiefs would probably vote for Kyoka, at least majority of them. So you have to have this arc, have characters act and make it them talk in a way where it will not really sway anyone massively until like the very climax of an arc. And unfortunately, I also feel like this is going to come to this is also going to come to in the end as well, with Ran having the 3 confirmed votes, being the 2 politicians, and Bell. Since I don't think they're going to have Bell changing sides, or at least it would be kind of weird. Well, at least they will not be able to change sides unless if they do some weirdness with Konomi and Azu. But also the 3 confirmed. Then we have Tanka and Varea who were confirmed for Kyoka. Mira has decided to back Kyoka now, which is gonna be 3-3. So I guess it's really going to come down to Azu, Fubuki, and Konomi now, because you could. So it will not be a tie or anything. So now they're just making it very. That's making it now they're winning the almost climax. So it's definitely 3 votes for each for Kyoka and Ran. Now depending on the other 3, but the thing is the other 3 haven't really done much, and quite frankly I don't even understand why the other 3 wouldn't vote for Kyoka. So when I see the votes would basically just be going. So yeah. This is the way how it is now, and honestly, I kind of feel like the way this vote is gonna go now. Well, if Kyoka wins, I think what they're gonna do is have Fubuki and Konomi vote for Kyoka, with Azu voting for Ran. Not because like Azu's like an ironclad supporter of Ran or anything, or even a reason why Azu would really vote for Ran over Kyoka. It's just that we kind of need stakes in the arc, so having 4 votes. Kyoka, 4 votes Ran. Coming down to the last one is just kind of a classic story trope. So it really just kind of feels like the whole conversations with Azu are just gonna be empty unless if we do a thing where we have like. I mean, it comes down to how they do the final results. Are they doing like, all right, the votes are cast. Vote 1, Ran. Vote 2, Kyoka. Vote 3, Kyoka. Vote 4, Ran. Are they gonna do this, or are they just gonna do it? In the final results are Ran with 3 votes, Kyoka with 7. Yeah, 3 votes. No, actually, check 6. Kyoka with 6 votes, because that's it depends really on how they do it. So unless they do some kind of like underhand thing, but regardless, I don't really see why. I really don't like. So depending on how they do it, they're gonna have the cast vote based on that, not so much because it actually makes sense for them to vote. I mean, for Fubuki and Konoha, I was always been kind of like debatable on why they wouldn't want to support Kyoka when you think about it, but now it's just gonna be there for the sake of the story. It really just kind of feels like it really does feel kind of empty and kind of being dragged down a bit. But whatever, we now have whatever. That's kind of how the thing's gonna go, and I really don't know which angle we're going though. I kind of feel like Kyoka will not win this unless at the point of this arc was to again. I feel like this arc's meant to show us why Kyoka is not ready to be a commander right now. But it really could be. We could either go down the line where Kyoka does win, and she kind of shows us her weaknesses in the actual field, with her not really getting any results. Like, great job, you won the election and threw away the hand that the gods gave you, and now they are complete hiding and not even showing themselves up. We have no idea what they're doing, and all you have spent your time on is running around, hoping they'll show themselves. Then we get to Rand's victory, which Rand's victory is pretty much what they're all going for. I think we can all guess that they're going to prevent the bomb plan or whatever the curse plan they're having, but they're probably going to get some kind of W because the gods do need some W. But anyways, it really comes down to it. Maybe it is going to be revealed that all the chiefs did vote for Kyoka, but the Armor Agency did some like backroom dealings, or like not backroom dealings, the more like backroom changes. So no, maybe even the politicians. Like, I mean, the thing is, with only like two politicians being the ones in charge, I kind of feel like they would side with Rand. So if there was a way for them to like hide a few things, I think they would do so, or at least be able around to. I mean, the only one that's really difficult, the one would be difficult to get around is the old master. So they are able to get around her, you could make a theory that they could sneak out or cheat in some way. With almost, I wouldn't be surprised if they have some way. But anyways, that's it for this chapter. Now we reach go into Chainsaw Man chapter 187 titled Buff. Chapters titles this week. So, anyways, we start this chapter off with also revealing where Puchita was being thrown in, because remember the last chapter, Chainsaw Devil grabbed Puchita's his heart, and threw it at Aging Devil, and we see that the Puchita's heart did actually reach the Aging Devil and fall in the ground, as the Aging Devil is just like, stomp it now. As the humans in the room are kind of confused about it, as the minister guy, the one that's being used as a chase, like, you heard him, fools! Stomp it! Because, they all kind of need to help Aging Devil succeed in all this. Before they are able to stomp it, Danji eats some of the organs, as he starts to regrow and regenerate himself into his form. As then we have... it did not work, so he's fully regenerated now, so he starts cutting the Aging Devil, and we see him being cut, but unfortunately for Puchita, it's the Aging Devil. He's the primordial devil. Him being cut around simply like this is not really doing much. All he's essentially doing is causing property damage and wasting everyone's time, as Aging Devil's like, don't you think it's time for you to just eat me already? And also makes like a little comment about Puchita making him experience new forms of pain and suffering. So yeah, which I guess confirms that the Aging Devil never fought that Chainsaw Devil form. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's no confirmation. I mean, the thing is, with how many devils and how big hell has kind of been shown to be, I kind of question if there would be a way for everyone to fight every devil if you would actually be thrown into it. But whatever, the Aging Devil is not being that bothered. He's just kind of getting annoyed the fact that they're just wasting time at this point. Like, just eat me already. Without eating me, you cannot get rid of me. So, open your mouth out and let me shove myself down your throat. So yeah, anyways, the Aging Devil then counterattacks as he's being caught by Puchita, as he then just uses this like weird tree thing to like trap Puchita down. And probably like I'm guessing the agent now might be just thinking like maybe the agent devil is gonna try to like, alright, we have him restrained. Grab his mouth, open him up, so I can start shoving myself in, because like that's what he said in the last chapter. Like I'll focus on shoving myself in. If really has to go, then shoving it should work. So yeah, but today we cut away to the aging devil world as we see that Danji finished eating the insides of that human tree that he was consuming previously. As he's like, all right, this. Thanks for the grub. As he then moves on to another tree, the tree that guy was humping a couple of chapters ago, the one that he was, humping, being this whole time. As he's like, wait, stop it! These are people. These aren't just normal trees. And besides, these people have been here for 20,000 years, and they've achieved great enlightenment. What can you, someone who hasn't even reached 20, really, be able to do or know or anything like that? As Danji just sort of ignores him, not doesn't really ignore him, but he's kind of more like focusing on it. Yeah, they lived here for so long, and now I need their organs to do my thing. So I thank them for the grub, as he starts chopping into another one, as the guy is panicking, be like, oh my god, this guy, he's like a devil! Which is probably meant to like go back to that conversation they had before all the shit broke loose in the sushi place, where they were like, I think it was actually Baron who was like, yep, that's what happens when you become connected with devils. The more and more you do it, the more and more you're going to not notice it. So like that was used with Asa, with how Asa is acting with Dotime and but this is now also applying here to Denji, with Denji not really having much feelings about cannibalism. Pretty sure he's committed cannibalism before, even without the chainsaw devil transformation, but whatever. Anyways, that's just meant to again be for us to remember, as he starts to eat that tree person, or at least cuts into that tree person to regain power, so chainsaw that Chuchita can now rise up back to cut at the aging devil, as we then have Puchita cutting into it, but again, it does not work. Agent is like, again, you should know by now, you cannot do anything. All we're doing is wasting time. So Denji, of course, due to their connection, is able to know, so cutting into it does not work. Oh, I Puchita, plan B. Have me buff some kind of devil that would affect this place. So we could, change it or something. As then, now it's basically like, let's get someone useful, because I gotta remember that when the snow devil came out, then it started snowing. So the devils and the devil when he came out as well, everyone's mouths returned. So it's very clear that returning a devil or buffing the devil out is going to do something. The question is, which devil do you pick? So, because like again, he says buff someone out that would be useful, but who could really be useful? I think there was a panel where we had like a bunch of random devils being eaten with the first transformation. I think it was like the one immediately after we had like a panel with everyone losing their mouths. So I'm kind of going to assume this panel. So I'm going to kind of assume maybe that panel has someone who has been eaten, or it could be. Actually, what would happen if you two nuclear bomb the devils? Like, would that world just completely get vanish and be needed to be rebuilt by the aging devil, or would that just be before the humans really start to populate or something? I don't really know, but I'm kind of starting to like wonder what devil would you need, because I feel like you need some kind of spatial devil. But I don't think it was ever mentioned that like Butch the ate space, and I don't even think it was ever like demonstrate or something like that. Or maybe not space shuttle itself, but maybe like some kind of other. But I don't know which one would be maybe used for this instance. Maybe the Fire Devil. No, I think fire exists, so it should so it shouldn't be eaten. Like I don't know really which one would really work the best. I kind of feel like the nuclear weapons devil, while making sense, I don't think he's going to be out yet, especially since us isn't really doing much. I think the last time we actually seen her was just kind of be like, oh my god, you're cutting into these people trees, but then nothing here, which is kind of interesting because they bring up he was a devil to like Danji cutting into people, but here and that was kind of first brought up by Asa. So when they were like, why is she not reacting at all? So yeah, I'm kind of doubting the nuclear weapons now, but we have to see which ones exactly are they going for. Maybe Puchita is going to give out the nuclear weapons level. Alright, War, here's your third child. Please don't turn this one into your weapon, into your body as well. So, yeah, maybe that's going to do something, but I don't really know. Again, like, it's Chainsaw Man. Their interpretation, the way Chainsaw Man handles a lot of these types of stuff is very all over the place. Just look at the Santa Claus arc, for example, with how Denji's power of light beats Santa Claus's power of darkness. Not your classic example of it, but it's close enough. So we're gonna see which way they're going to escape the aging Devil's world. I think the next chapter is going to end on their escape on the aging Devil's world. But anyways, that's just my opinion. Now on to the final chapter of the week with RuriDragon chapter 26 titled Is there a Matsuda from class 4 here? Kind of a weird that chapter because this is something that's like, it's true that Matsuda is mentioned, they are looking for him. It's just, it's kind of a weird thing. That's the chapter title, especially since that's more like a background thing. You would kind of think it would be something like childhood drama or childhood French drama or something like that. But anyways, that's not by looks of things the case here. But anyways, let's get into the chapter. We start this chapter off with Rui returning to the camp that is the well not the to the count well not the council the all the event organizers are at, or at least the ones for their separate class are in. And she's like apologizing for being late, but it's fine because now they're essentially just waiting around because like it's Meta basically explains to her, oh yeah, we help with the events, but as of now, when the event's actually going to be taking place and all that, we're basically just going to be waiting for everything to kind of be over. And she also mentioned like the other, the one who can't speak and the one that's very shy, are actually doing something else. With Rui saying, "Oh, I'll get to help them late. I will go help them later." So yeah, as then they're just kind of sitting down, being like, "So now we just sit here." Yep. Want a mic? No, heck no. So yeah, they're just now just waiting until everything's kind of until they are required. Now, as they are waiting there, we see that one of the girls, I think she's from a different class, sees that there was a phone on the floor. Well, actually, the floor was on the floor. That in the like the little grass area at the edge of the school, someone like is dropped their phone. So she goes to check it out, and she sees it, and she picks it up as someone with a friend, well, one of her friends stopped by her, look at something, and then that girl said it was a phone that she found. As then we see like the guy who's dropped his phone, be like, well, where the hell is my phone right now? So yeah, as then we get to like a couple of like the interactions between the students that are gonna be they're gonna be competing in this like little race they have. They have like an obstacle course, rather one of those things. Kind of thought those are usually more at the end of the arcs, but whatever. Well, they are going to have this rally, and they're kind of like talking about like they kind of do the classic things. Yeah, it's like they're all very standard. Like you have one character in this team that's like very shy. That's like, oh no, I don't think I can do it. I'm just not I'm just so gonna delay this entire team. Oh, I'm so sorry. Where they always been, oh, you're fine, you're good, like, we just believe in you, just believe in yourself, all that. We have characters from different classes be like, we have some bad blood after what you did, you bastard. Uh, we get also like a bunch of name drops for characters, probably for us to write them down to remember them. But again, like it's kind of difficult. The moment with the black and white series liked it, well, with manga is like you don't. There's a bit. The problem with a slice of life black and white manga like this is that very few characters are gonna really stand out from a character design standpoint. Like yeah, the main characters, the characters that appear the most, you're probably gonna be able to recognize because they just appear so much. But like characters like the boy here who's kind of like taking the lead, the guy from Ryu's class. I'm certain that we saw him. I'm pretty sure that it's from that chapter where Rui and her mother were like going to that like a sports center, whatever it was, to play. And yeah, but again, like it's gonna help to remember all these characters. But regardless, we have him talk. We have him being given us the stink up of someone who's his old classmate. And yeah, as then we have the two girls that found their phone going to Ruri and Maido's place to see, oh, are you the ones we are supposed to be getting missing stuff like the phone or something? Where Ruri being, oh yeah, sure, we'll return it later. And as they are getting the phone, they and the girls leave. They are then, then the phone starts to ring, being like, wait, someone's calling? As they answer the phone, be like, yes, hello. As the guy is asking, hey, I'm the guy whose phone you found. I'm using a friend's phone to call so I could, get in contact and, to find the phone. So could you return it to me? I am Matsuda from class 4. I'm about to be in this rally in this racing rally, so could you come here quickly? As Rui's like, sure, I will come by really quickly. As I'll come right away. Although I feel like she could have probably just been waiting until, like, I don't think it's gonna be like an issue. I think it's just meant to for the final just of the chapter for like a little joke. But I don't really think Rui had to, but just to get Rui to the area. As Rui then he's like, sure, I'll get you the phone. I'll get to you right away. Let's see which direction. And Rory runs off to go return the guy's phone since she's not really doing anything. So yeah. Anyways, then we have the obstacle rally starting. As then we have like one guy from Rory's class running, who's apparently like the fastest guy there. But unfortunately, the guy. I'm not sure this is supposed to be a reveal that this guy's gonna be a very clumsy character. If this is just kind of gonna be a running joke or something. But someone calls to the guy to say that he should trip, and he does trip over exactly, and like, well, he actually did trip. As then the others keep, running, and it's even mentioned that before, and that he's probably gonna trip or something before they even start the rally. But anyways, this then guy then goes to the obstacles, which is after the running portion goes to like the little physical exercise where you have to like move from like a giant mat, or from a across a giant mattress, no, not on all fours, but with your elbows or something. As then he keeps running a bit, and then we get to the like we didn't get to the super shy girl, the one that was like, oh no, I'm sorry for that. And she then gets her turn, she's then running, and then she complains the fact that her obstacle course is her walking without her shoes on, something that's like very, like that little foot, it's like little rock that's meant to like get into your feet to like massage them or that. She basically goes on those. So she's like, oh, I have so much harder one. Why is mine so physically, so painful? So yeah, and then we get to the like the and third one where we get to like I guess the ice queen of the class, because well, that's what they call her, an ice queen, as well as one of the is friends counts out how hot she is and how pretty she is. Your obligatory Yuri moments in these types of series. They are the most necessary of all series, as we have the girl going to the whole sandwich thing, but then shoving her face into like sand or whatever they're putting there, the thing, weird thing that you have to like shove it in, on your face, but whatever. She then does that whole thing, and then she moves to the final portion. And doing this kind of race, we then get to like a lot of the more in during this moment when we have like all this entire unfolding, we cut away from the cap from the race to what Rui and the guy who is or with the guy that has his like childhood friend giving him the stink eye. I think his name. Look at the notes. I think his name is Yoshioka. Is talking to the guy as he is looking for the student. As Yoshioka asks the guy, "Why are you giving me the stink eye for the entire time?" As the guy reveals that it's because he stole a girl that he liked. Why do you always? Why is it a ladies' magazine and all that stuff? So, the typical like high school boys into girls stuff that's always used. As Yoshioka's like, dude, I'm not that popular with girls. I don't even like. I don't really care about it at all. And don't if you have an issue with that with your crush, you could talk about with someone out with her. I'm not really that interested or anything like that. As the guy's not really listening to that, but for the just for the something for the captors to do. As then we have the character saying, "I'll beat you this time as payback for you stealing her away from me. She wasn't yours to begin with." As is then like, if I beat you today, you introduce me to the cute girl with the horns. So Rui is kind of popular amongst the boys. Well, someone's into Rui now. All right, that's I guess an interesting reveal. I guess a lot of us would probably be into monster girls now that I think about it, but that what our problems are for us to deal with. So, anyways, we didn't have Yoshinobu, who's just like, dude, if you want to go out with her, ask her yourself. She's not exactly the most unsocially awkward person herself. But anyways, we didn't get to the final stages of the race where we have Yoshinoko and the other guy finally getting to the race. As the other guy has been a little early, well, because his team was ahead, he's able to have a sad start. While Yoshinoki is just now getting the baton as he's now racing straight to the finish line because he's a lot faster. So he's kind of like, despite that being like starting separately, Yoshinoki is a lot has quite a head. Is a lot faster on a normal basis. Which captors do acknowledge, oh yeah, we probably should have guessed this guy was going to be a really fast because he was on the track team. We did should have probably planned that ahead of time. Even like, I think it's actually the friend guy is the one that mentions that. Oh shit, you're right. This guy was on a track. Is on a track team. I probably should have thought he would be one of the fastest ones here. So yeah, Yoshinoko and him are gonna be competing. And while this is all happening, we have Rui kind of looking for the guy's phone, asking if okay, who is Matsuda? Is he here? I think she says the guy's name wrong. Guy's name wrong, but there was like, do you mean this guy or do you mean? But anyways, Ruri's there. But while she's there talking to them, the reason why she's there is so she can like, hey, Yoshinoko, do your best, to like praise her classmate because he's like she's right there. She might as well just praise him as well. As she's probably still looking for the phone guy. As the guy, this probably just meant to be like a misunderstanding again, where the guy is gonna be like, where the guy's gonna like, he, damn you! I just told you that I'm into her, and you always stole her. Damn you, Yoshinoki! And Yoshinoki's like, just be like, yeah, sure, I'll do my best. But yeah, anyways, I do have to wonder if this is gonna be like a running gag with the two characters, so this is just going to be like a thing where after their whole race, it's gonna be like returning the phone to the guy, then going to praise Shinoki, and then be like, "Damn you, Shinoki!" And then Shinoki's like, "Oh, by the way, right? Why were you here anyways?" And so it was like, "Oh, someone from class 4 lost their phone, so I just brought him here. I was kind of in a hurry, so yeah." But the guy probably not hearing it, or be like, "Oh, you just brought him in presence of classes." Alright, that makes sense. So would you? But anyways, that we will see on that fun on what the caps are doing in the next chapter. But I'm kind of guessing that might be where we're going, or we're going down the road of no one communicated with that friend that Rui was just returning a phone to a student in a different class, and she just praised to Shinoko because they're classmates. Nothing deeper. And maybe even revealed that that other girl, the one he's being pissed off at Yoshinoki for stealing, was also a similar thing, which it had literally nothing to do with the two of us. It was literally just I let her borrow a book to take notes because she was sick. She came to me and thanked me and gave me chocolates of thanks. So yeah, I'm guessing it's kind of like one. So yeah, I'm kind of wondering if it's gonna be one of those things. But again, it's just a simple. It's just a school. This one of those these school arcs. There's nothing unique about them, you know. So yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the chapters for this week. And whoa, we actually managed to go into an hour-long video. I'm kind of impressed with myself on it, but honestly, I'm just kind of thinking it was a smart idea that I talked made a video even with these 3 chapters because well, not so many chapters. They're gonna be next time. Next we're gonna talk about if there's gonna be any chapters next week. This time of year is kind of confusing when it comes to chapter releases, but anyways, this is the end of the video. I hope you like this video. I hope you leave your thoughts in this chapter in the comments below. Don't forget to leave your thoughts on some other series that you've been reading in the comments below as well. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you motos next time. Goodbye.